You told them about the building, but have you told them about Christ? You told them about your church building, but have you told them about Christ? I want to give a shout out to my man Mac. Beautiful email. And I feel you in so many ways. That's why I want to title this video, You Told Them About Your Building, but have you told them about Christ? And just like you, brother, let me say this real because most of the people that I talk to on here, they don't go to church. And they'll tell you why. And I feel them in so many ways. And I know people gonna say, well, you shouldn't let nobody stop you from going to church. I agree with that to disagree. Because if you sitting in the jacked up church, messed up preacher, God ain't in it. You need to be at home and get closer with God with relationship because it ain't got nothing to do with a building or religion or man-made tradition. I'm just being real. Now, I applaud people when you go to church. I ain't saying I don't go to church, but we put too much emphasis on the building. We got so many people. Come to my church, brother. Oh, I'm preaching this Sunday. I preach at this church. Oh, come to this church. I'm singing this Sunday. Church, 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 church. We so busy telling people about church that we don't even bring them to Christ. Get them to Christ first. Tell them about who changed you, who saved you, who delivered you. But oh, we got to get them in the building to do that. No, I disagree. And I get tired of these preachers preaching to you if you ain't going to church, you sinning. And you got all these people sitting in the church sinning harder than people that they talking about. Hypocrites. I didn't mean to take it there, but I got to tell the truth because y'all who look at me, y'all all know who y'all are who don't go to church. And that's why I love talking to y'all because it's the church folks that have made you stop going. See, one point of time in my life, I'm gonna say about 2 or 3 years, I stopped being a minister of music. I quit going to church. And when I did that in so many ways, it was the best thing I done because that's when I broke down and started focusing on studying, learning what the truth was. And it took me being on my own, not a preacher. God was my teacher. It took God getting me by myself to get away from the lies, to get away from the stupid tradition and religion that these preachers are preaching. They ain't got nothing to do with getting into heaven. And I wanted to know truly about salvation. The book of Revelation. What does this mean? What do that mean? And all you hear in these churches, most of them is feel-good sermons, prosperity sermons. Beg, 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 beg. Man, the hell with all that. Tell somebody about Christ. That's why I love going on the corner, K-Ray, where the dope deal is, where the prostitute is. That's what Christ would have been doing. Church folks don't do this. See, a true child of God, a true Christian, can't stand being around religious folks. Y'all will catch that later on. They can't stand it. Because why? Jesus couldn't stand it. Because Jesus was not religious. He was spiritual. And people got Jesus in the religious category. Now, well, that's the way Christ was. The hell if he wasn't. Christ wasn't like that. Because Christ was invited to the sinners' parties. Christ walked and talked with the sinners. See, that's why the Pharisees, the religious leaders, the church folks couldn't stand Jesus with what Jesus did. But we claiming to be Christ-like, but we can't even go in the liquor store. We too holy to go in there. Somebody might see me. I tell you, man, so many people want you to come to their church because they having a revival. You know, last time I checked, a revival ain't got nothing to do with unbelievers. It's the ones that sitting there that need to be revived. Hidden Cliff did a video a long time ago called You Can't Plan No Revival. Somebody catch that video later on. Because if we would learn to stick to God's program, not these little programs, these little same old formats, old devotion, preaching, and this and that. Let God take over the service. And see, the service with God is 24/7. It started before a building. Ain't nothing wrong with going to the building. I always tell people that it's good things going on, but it's more messed up buildings than the ones that's doing good. Have you told them about Christ? You know what I like to do when I meet an unbeliever or somebody come up to me and we get to talking about the Bible and they want to know, I tell them about what God did for me. That's why I don't testify in these churches. Brother, you got to testify every day. Man, you better get that mic out of my face before I bust you in your head with it. My only testimony that I like to say is I pleaded the blood. So ain't no need for me to get up and testify every Sunday because I'm going to have the same testimony, sir. Now I can get up and brag about some stuff like some of these folks doing in these church. Oh, what's your testimony? I got a new Cadillac. Testifying about your new house. Then a couple of months later, you're in the church crying because you can't afford the house note. Or if you had a new car, you can't afford the car note, and then you crying and ask the church for some help, and the church won't even help you. So I speak what's real, man. I'm talking about getting your soul saved. If you can't find a good church home, it's best to stay at home. Now, I can't tell nobody what to do. I'm just telling you what I went through, so don't get it. No, don't get it like JT telling me to leave. No, I don't tell nobody to leave nowhere. I try not to. And if I have said that, forgive me in the past. But I know for myself, if I'm in the church, ain't no true teaching. It's just a religious, traditional church and a bunch of mess. Ain't no God in it. JT ain't in it. I can hear a fairy tale at home. I can hear a feel-good message on the TV right there. I can cut on YouTube and other websites to hear somebody begging for money and all this old stupid, ignorant stuff they doing in these churches. That ain't church to me. When the last time if somebody went out of the laws? Yeah. When the last time if somebody prayed for the sinners? When the last time have somebody cooked a hot meal and gave it to somebody other than Thanksgiving and Christmas time? How many people right now waiting to December? What's this? We in July, September, December, November, holiday months. How many people waiting on that to do something for somebody when you got people starving all year long? When you got people on your street that need clothes to wear, need a loaf of bread on the table, need their yard cut, children might need something. See, we too busy playing church. That's why you got to get past the building. That's why I love y'all. When the church turn people like y'all away, man, even if I could just say something on this camera, I ain't no perfect man. Y'all know that. But I try to perfect what I do. Even though some people don't like what come out of my mouth, can't worry about them. I ain't on here to please them. They ain't gonna like me no way because they didn't like Christ. So since I'm following Christ, I'm gonna get hated on too. I welcome haters because I use haters as my elevators. I keep moving up high while they stay down mighty low. And that let you know when you're on the right track. And if you ain't got nobody hating on you, send them to my page and let them hate on me because I use that fuel as my fire. If you ain't got nobody against you, the devil ain't messing with you, you must be on the devil's side. Check what you're doing, how you're doing it, and who you're around with. Because even Jesus told us in these last and evil days. I mean, just look at the church. Look at the buildings, what they doing on the inside of them. Yeah, you got a lot of big ones up, some moving forward, some ain't doing nothing. I'm not concerned on how big your church is, how many folks in there, but what you got on the inside? Is there some healing going on? Is there some people getting saved, getting delivered? Is there some ex-dope dealers in there, some ex-prostitutes in there? See, these are the people that need to be reached out to. But everybody talking about them, but nobody ain't even going to give them an encouraging word. What about that homeless man that been homeless for years? Who asked him if he needed a pair of pants or tried to help him get a job, help him get on his feet, other than just, there you go again, out there begging? Well, if you want to call these beggars on the street, some of these preachers in the pulpit doing the same thing. They just begging in the pulpit. So what's their scheme? Let me get out of here on that. Peace and remain blessed. Love y'all. To the Lord say the same. See you on the next one.